It's safe to say that almost all of us at Nintendo Life and the rest of the internet are clamoring for more information on Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch. But one thing that most of us, and including me, can forget is that a massive game like this has quite the lengthy development time. So while we sit back and wait, we figured why not put down New Leaf and Pocket Camp and talk about some of the new features and things that we would like to see implemented in the new Animal Crossing on Switch. Now, none of this is actual fact, it's all just hopes at the moment. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life, and I hope you brought your imagination cap because we've got a lot of hoping and dreaming ahead of us.
At number 1 is a persistent online hub city that integrates Miiverse-style features. We'd love to see a city folk-style hub make a return. Obviously, we'd expect a serious overhaul from the Wii's vision, but imagine heading into a hub similar in design to that of Splatoon 2's for a Friday night out with friends, or to meet up for a little Saturday afternoon shopping before dinner and a show. What if you could see KK Slider on another night of the week? How about an auction house where you could bid against other players on art to donate to your town's museum without having to rely on that shady red fellow? Utilizing the social posting in Splatoon 2 would also allow for friends to coordinate and communicate easier as well. Having a shared online space for everyone to meet up would open up a wealth of possibilities for everything from special events to new shops you wouldn't expect to see in your quiet town. Number 2, expanded multiplayer activities. For as much of a focus the series has had on multiplayer, sometimes there just isn't really a lot to do with your friends. Sure, you can visit each other's towns, trade items, travel out to the island for some late-night bug hunting excursions, or go play Tortimer's games, although it was sort of a pain to get out there anyways, so finding a way to streamline their accessibility could go a long way. We'd also love to see some multiplayer-specific events too. I can picture a competitive event on Halloween where everyone hops on a spooky flying bus driven by a zombie porter to a randomly generated town to see who can go door-to-door collecting the most candy. Or a cooperative event where a group takes a sleigh ride to our favorite reindeer Jingle's home to help him wrap presents for that special night of the year. Number 3, some sort of notification system. How many times has real life distracted you from checking Red's tent on a certain day, or caused you to miss your window to sell turnips? Now, even if you're checking in regularly, it's still easy enough to forget something. Wouldn't it be nice to set reminders to come up on your Switch, or perhaps, even better, push notifications to your phone? Now, we understand this can make the game feel a lot more like a chore, mixing in with all the other boxes that you have to check off of your daily to-do list. But then again, Animal Crossing is all about that. It would be nice to have an option for people who actually want to use it. Might as well use that dang Nintendo Switch app for something, eh? Just don't require us to chat through it. Now, number 4 should be pretty obvious, but Labo VR support? Come on. Haven't you all been thinking of it after Breath of the Wild VR? Who doesn't want it, right? Right? Now, we weren't the biggest fans of its use in Breath of the Wild, but Super Mario Odyssey and Labo VR itself proves that bite-sized VR can work well, and it can be a new fun way to chat with your townsfolk, tour your museum, or even just see your home from a new perspective. Alternatively, a couple of Tortimer's minigames could be created for VR. Bug photography, a fishing contest, low-speed tortoise racing? Anyone? At least that one shouldn't give us motion sickness. Number 5 is expanded Amiibo functionality. After the disappointment that was Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival on Wii U, you might not like the sound of more animal-shaped figures. But Animal Crossing on Switch offers a great opportunity to add value to those little statues and cards collecting dust on your shelf. Obviously, the range of Animal Crossing ones could offer special abilities, but why not tie the characters' color schemes, wallpaper, or furniture to each of the figures? Imagine, for example, if one unlocked a unique marble statue or shrub of the character to decorate your garden. What if you could use your Blathers Amiibo to summon him immediately to your location to evaluate your fossils and paintings? There are near infinite possibilities, and while they don't need to be extremely complex, the potential of this Amiibo line is basically going to waste. The update to New Leaf eventually treated these toys with some respect, and we'd love for the Switch version to allow us another excuse to crack out our collection.
What am I gonna do with all of these?
Number 6 is a revamped museum and less repetitive dialogue. Most of the main NPCs have some sort of canned, repeated dialogue that they spit out at you each time you interact with them. It can be entertaining the first, second, or maybe even third time. But darn it, time is money. So the more time you spend telling me how you can't afford to purchase my extra Tyrannosaurus skull is more time I could spend dropping bells in the bank, Blathers! Now, the sheer amount of text that goes into each game is incredible, but we'd be very grateful if the old owl just had a few more things to say when we tap him for his expertise. And this could apply to all NPCs, really. And the museum itself could do with an overhaul too. It's all a little archaic, like an underfunded local amenity. Let's get some interactive exhibits in there. Let's expand the aquarium, introduce some modern art, and get people flowing through that place. Maybe you could set up a relationship with the museum in the big city and organize a few traveling exhibits. Something a bit more exciting than a series of boxy rooms to house your old relics. Number 7 is more KK Slider. Jamming out with KK Saturday nights is great and all, but the reality is that most adults are too busy to catch his performance on the weekends. Yes, we might be able to squeeze in his DJ set, but we'd like to see him pop up a little more often, in healthy doses though. We'd just like the opportunity to see him more than once or twice a week. In fact, this could combine well with the online city idea. Perhaps Slider plays a matinee performance at the concert hall on Tuesday, or maybe he's singing the national anthem at the sports stadium for the big game on Sunday. Maybe he's a judge on Who's Got Talent at the TV studio, or maybe he's hosting open mic night at Brewster's for you and the other villagers to perform at. He's a somewhat mysterious and elusive being, but we wouldn't mind if he showed up just a little more often. Am I trash for wanting KK to run a lo-fi radio station? Let me know in the comments. Number 8 is more item interaction, especially in the kitchen. There's something especially charming about Animal Crossing's restraint over the simplistically limited ways you can interact with household objects. Over the years, turning on a toaster or playing with a microwave has given us tiny thrills of discovery, just like when a villager suddenly drops a line of dialogue that you've never seen before. But surely it's time to expand on those little Easter eggs. We've got a blender in the kitchen. Let us make a smoothie with all the delicious fruit we've been collecting. Let us bake cakes for our villagers. Let us give some of those appliances we've got laying around the place use. We're basically looking for an Animal Crossing Overcooked crossover, blending the serene mood of your village with the chaotic nature of serving dishes in the kitchen. Somebody give Ghost Town Games a bell, please? Someone? And with number 9, we want more house upgrades and more choices. Buying and upgrading your home has been a staple of the series from the very beginning, and we've seen various improvements and refinements over the years. The additional mechanics implemented from Happy Home Designer into the update for New Leaf greatly improved your ability to furnish your home with speed and ease. We'd like to see an expansion with more customization options for your house upgrades, to be able to decide the size and order of rooms, window placement, shape, layout, and have all these things reflected on the exterior of your home. But why stop there? What if you could customize the way you entered and exited a room? Elevator or spiral staircase, anyone? How about a garage to store your stuff in or work out in? Or maybe an actual backyard with a deck? Oh, and then a dog to run around in the yard. Actually, that last one might be a little weird, given the circumstances. And last but not least, number 10, NES Games. With the Virtual Console being basically replaced with the Switch Online service, in theory, it'd be extremely easy to reincorporate NES games back into Animal Crossing like they had on the GameCube. You'd be able to earn games for completing requirements within special events, or just find them around the world. And then you'd only be able to play them if you had an active online subscription. Or maybe you'd be able to play a demo of the game, kind of like they did in Super Smash Bros. Brawl it was, I believe. Now sure, you could play the games quicker and easier within the app on your Switch, but the novelty of this makes up half the fun anyways, doesn't it? Wait. What if they took an extra step further and made a public works project where you could build an arcade and go there and play with your friends? Now that would be something. Now we know we're hoping for a lot here, some subtle and some drastic changes, but this game has probably been in development for a few years now at least, and considering New Leaf was one of the top 10 best-selling 3DS games of all time, we think it'll get the extra attention it deserves from Nintendo to make the Switch release the best it can be. And come on, Nook, you said 2019, and it's almost E3, so you better have some answers for us soon.
But now's the time to make your voice heard. What changes and new features would you like to see implemented in Animal Crossing on Switch? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, strike that like button with a golden shovel, subscribe to Nintendo Life, and ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we release new videos. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.